Hello everybody, this is Chi coming at you live from my quarantine zone. No, for real though, here I am. I'm gonna make some tea and I'm gonna talk to you about why the fuck I moved to Russia. Quick apartment tour, shit, desk. So, the big question. Hold up. Shit is way too loud. So, now for the big question. Gee, that's a lot of sugar. Why are you in Russia? By golly, I'm here to tell you that today. Oh, it's a mighty fine tea. We didn't even mix in the sugar yet. I won't give you the full biography, but I'll give you, a nice little quick breakdown of life. I grew up in this small town in West Virginia, and I'll put a little map here. This small town in West Virginia, and I lived there for 18 years. I went to college there from 18 to the age of 24. Can you imagine? 6 years. And I studied to be a chemical engineer. During college, I had the pleasure of traveling everywhere in the U.S. and partying all over the place. But, and it was fun. And I had the pleasure and privilege to travel abroad. So I dabbled in a couple countries. But really, I skipped a fucking big part of the story. I'll be honest, okay? One of the first reasons that I came to the eastern part of the world was because of girls. Unfortunately for a lot of you, I'm just editing this. I cleansed my Instagram of a lot of the hoe shit that I used to have up there. So I'm sorry for the new people. There's only pictures of me on there. It fucking sucks. But you can, if you go into my, highlights, you can see some of the shit that I got into. And maybe I'll make a highlight video of it sometime. But, the girls. I'm sorry, I gotta be a cliche motherfucker, but it is what it is. I remember the nicest women that I ever met in my life that were also extremely, extremely attractive. No offense to anybody, but the most attractive, girls, the girls that were attractive enough that I expect that I would walk up to them and they're going to be assholes. Because that's how it is in many places in the U.S., at least for me. But specific girls that I met in America weren't. And I can point out maybe 4, and they were all from Lithuania, of all places. And I was like, okay, so this is weird. So now I have to go to Eastern Europe. I just have to go to Eastern Europe. So on my first trip abroad, I went to France. Of course, you gotta go to Paris, man. Paris is voulez-vous? I don't know any French words. You have to go to Paris. It's just a mandatory thing. But after Paris, I went to Estonia. I didn't actually go to Latvia, but I loved it. I think every single interaction that I had with humans was positive. Every single person I walked up to and asked, tried to have a conversation with, they all stopped, they all had a conversation, and they were all very excited to meet me. And they would give me stuff. And I'll show you some pictures. I talked to a guy that was working at a church, didn't get a picture with him. I talked to him for 30 minutes, and then he said, dude, okay, I know this church is closed, but I'll let you in, you can go to the top, take some pictures, and I'll show you around. And I was like, what? This is why? It's simply because of conversation. I don't know. So it wasn't so then that was when it started becoming about more than just girls, at least for Eastern Europe. Of course, the girls were still there, man. Now about Russia, okay? This is how Russia factors in. In Estonia, when you went to some of the clubs, the best girl in the club was always Russian, 100%, or Ukrainian, but she was usually Russian. So I saw that, I noticed it, I took some notes, and I remembered. So Fast forward, I went to also Hungary in that trip. Fucking fantastic. Budapest is one of the most fun places ever. Same thing. Russian girls were the best girls in the club. And Eastern Europe is the best. And I also went to Poland, and same thing. Best girls in the clubs were Russian. But I went to Krakow. Amazing place. I love it. There's like, Eastern Europe is the homeland. And so from then on, after that trip, it was always in my head to travel more to Eastern Europe. Every thought, I mean, not every thought, right? But every time I was thinking about going on a trip, I'm like, I need to go back to Eastern Europe. I need to go back. And so the next trip that I had, I thought about just going to the other countries I hadn't been to, but I wanted to get a little bit crazy. And I saw, we hear about Russia in the news. It's a dangerous place. Like, it's in every single piece of media in the US as like, the enemy, and I don't know. We have all these cliches, stereotypes, and then we have the idea of the girls being most beautiful, and then we have Putin, and I'm like, I don't know. But I wanted to be crazy. And so honestly, I went and I Googled, like, is Russia safe for black people? And there was a guy that I found on YouTube, and I'll tag his YouTube channel, why not? That made a whole bunch of videos similar to the ones that I'm going to make about his time in Russia. And that gave me a little bit more confidence to make the trip to, like, and so it was the first time I had ever done a visa. And my God, that almost stopped me right there and then. I mean, visas are ugly, man. You got to get all these documents together and then go to an embassy? No, man, no. So I almost stopped right there, but I didn't. Because I was like, well, let me do something crazy. So fast forward, got the visa, got everything. I went to Armenia as well on that trip. Armenia's cool, but no, I'm not here to talk about Armenia right now. Went to Russia, amazing. I went right before the World Cup in 2018, and it was my home. I don't know how else to describe it. When I walked in the street and I acted, I'm a pretty active, I'm a pretty wild person. So I'm meeting people, I'm dancing, I'm doing different things, and they were open to it, and they were just dancing with me, and they were like, the people wanted to meet me. I entered to this club, my favorite club, or was my favorite club. Now I have some different ones, but we call it Gypsy. The name of it is Gypsy, and if you go back to my different Instagram posts, I have at least like 5 tagged with Gypsy. I would walk out onto the dance floor in Gypsy and tear shit up. Dude, I'm not even... Like, it's like I had a superpower. Like, I'm literally Superman coming from a different planet and just taking over. It was amazing. It was like I was a celebrity. On like day 3 of me being in Moscow, they already know me at this club. And so there's a line, and I get to walk up, and they just move the rope, and they're like, hello, good sir, we remember you, of course, go inside. And I'm like, and other people have to pay like, $20 to get in, and they're just saying, you right there, get inside the club, we know you. And it was like, from day one, I was a fake celebrity. I call it like a fake celebrity because I didn't do anything to deserve this. But it just, because I look foreign, black, but I'm also wild and outgoing. So it's not a normal combination here. So it's just, if you're outgoing and wild, you'll kill shit in Moscow. It's just amazing. So, I mean, I had the most amazing time in Moscow. I went to Then I went to St. Petersburg, and I met some of the most amazing people that I've ever met in my life up there. Some of the nicest people. I tried this website called Couchsurfing up there. And so this guy actually let me stay with him. So I got to like see what a real Russian house, how they lived in their apartment, Russian cats, what they ate, and how they lived. And this guy, I mean, yeah, he just let me stay in his house for a week. I don't know, his apartment. So I'll never forget this guy. Couldn't speak English, man. Just couldn't speak English. But it just shows like these many Russians, like if you can form a connection with them, and they I don't know, they want to share with you. They want to, like, it's brotherhood. I don't know what the, like, it's, I don't know. I'm with this guy for a week, and we're like bros. I'm with this guy for like 3 days, and we're brothers. We're like connecting on everything. We can't even communicate, man. So from my first trip to Russia, I fell in love, and I remember, I met a couple Americans when I was here, and I was getting back on the plane, and I was like, yo, like, you guys get to live here. Like, you guys get to do this shit every weekend of the year. Every week, you guys get to live this life of fun, of parties, of girls, of culture, of people who just, you can connect with. And, from then on, it was in my heart to live in Russia. It was in my heart. So when I was working an engineering job, and I ended up getting fired in 2019. In May or April of 2019, I got fired from my job. And I remember I was thinking, I was like, yo, fuck. So I have a choice right now. I can go find another engineering job, which is possible, or I can say fuck it and I can go teach English somewhere. And I actually met a guy. I met a random black guy in the club, like, I don't know, in February, and he had just come back from China. Sorry, the story jumps around a little bit. And so I met this black guy in the club in February, and he told me about his experience teaching English, and I was like, fuck it, let's see how it goes. And so I got my little online certificate thing. If anybody wants any specific information about any of this, you can comment or ask me directly, DMs. I got my little online certification, and I applied for places in China and in Russia. And this was a big choice for me because China had the money. Man, China's got the money. I actually found that they offered me a job making the same amount of money as I was making at my engineering job. No taxes, same amount of money. And then I had I got an offer from Russia for a third of the money. But for me, in the end, I was like, fuck it, man. Like, it was my dream to live in Russia. It was my dream to live in Moscow and do this shit. So I'm just gonna do it. And so I moved to Moscow December 2019. I had a visa issue, so I had to go back for January and December, but I came back in March, and I've been in Russia ever since. And so that's why, I'm in Russia teaching English, and now I'm teaching dance. I've moved a little bit forward. And I'm not like a choreographer. I don't teach choreography. I do like more of a fitness dance, but this is shit, like, it's different than Zumba, and it's different than like normal fitness dance, because my shit is like, you could take my moves to the fucking club that weekend. That is what I'm trying to do. It's like I want to empower people to, be free, be themselves, and feel confident enough to bust out some shit if they feel the vibe. So that's my new dream, is to, have my own little studio where I can be teaching classes, and I can replace my teaching English income with that dancing fitness, that dancing income. Because teaching English is okay, but I'm not passionate about teaching English. I tell you what, I'm really not. But there it is. That's the quick story of kind of how I ended up here. And, kind of, you can understand the reason I stayed, girls are beautiful. I'm a kind of the center of attention, the cool kid, as it were. But even bigger than that, I can form connections deep connections with local people, and it's similar to America. I mean, I can meet some people and have a very deep connection, but in Russia, it just feels a little bit different. I don't know. I can't really put my finger on how it's different, but it feels a little bit different. And there's a lot of other perks. I won't go into it now. I'll talk about it in another video, like top 10 reasons why I like Russia more than I like living in America. But we'll end this video here. I don't know how I'm gonna edit this, but 15 minutes is not bad. I hope you all having a good day. My first quarantine video.